activate. Heard something there. Okay, just making sure you can all systems go. Priscilla's here. You know, living the life as a better in Paris Hilton. No, she doesn't have any golden shower curtains, as far as I know. They got everything else. Not to do anything all day, that's for sure. Sleep and tear everything apart. And beg. I'm their treat dealer. A bunch of drug addicts. Begging for, man, they just can't live off of that stuff. They can't live without it. I don't know what happens to them when they get. This is where drug addicts come from. They're just animals, and they get addicted to treat narcotics, whatever they put in that stuff. So, the reptilian, this comes to mind, which I don't normally talk about this stuff. Reptilian war with humanity, and obviously there's a lot of pushback, even obviously in the spiritual groups. A lot of they still have to heal within themselves, in case you haven't noticed. Yeah, there's a lot of deep wounds there. Not always. Yeah, just some are. They say they're spiritual, but they still got a lot of issues, and they put on a fake persona, and then they're attacking people and so on, and whatever it is, put on the face. So yeah, it's a deep wound in the spiritual climate. So. Either way, yeah, it's not easy to come to terms with that either. To be two people or three different versions of yourself. So, public version and at-home version, that's a psychopath. Or the part that are controlling or whatever it might be. So, either way, hello there. Hello there, Priscilla. How are you? No, she's not on camera. Fritz is not needed. Should be here crying too. Or of course, this one's not crying, but Fritz would be here investigating if she was needed. All must be okay. Yeah, of course, the reptilian beings are teaching us. And they got their own issues. Not that you can see them physically, but of course you can see it through human nature. Because they have their own mind control systems they have to break out of, and from what I'm gathering, they are patrolling us because we're at it, because we're nuts. Well, we're learning how to take our power back, but it's day by day. Is there really a hurry for that? It is like the X-Men? It's kind of like that in our own way. Not that mean you're lasering people with your eyes, but you can energetically do it. I mean, you can still weaponize your energy if you're not getting what you want, so, and use it for, nefarious, purposes. So the idea is to access our abilities and use them, in the right way. So, then we can become like the reptilians and walk around when people don't see us and mess around with the reality. I don't think they feel like they have all the answers or they're perfect. It's just they know they have to watch us. because our world is nuts. So, yeah, I have, yeah, them coming. I mean, I haven't felt them around. I've not. They're not on my mind like ever. But I'm just tapping into their. I mean, this is them talking to me. They do observe our energy and see what we go through, and yeah, of course they can't interfere. But I do feel like gratitude towards us that we're going through these things that is detrimental. I mean, there's a lot of beings from the universe that are here, and there's a lot of, they have to go through their stuff, and it's not pretty, so this world brings it out. And yeah, I see some of the spiritual groups, some of the spiritual leaders that are kind of checked out, living in their own bubble. So, and they don't even see it, no matter what you say. They don't see it. Yikes. A little bit of an elitism there. Well, there's some worshiping going on. Sometimes within the followers. Sometimes. This is one thing of looking up and mentorship, and the other is, of course, the spiritual leader can be way twisted. Something they gotta go through. Yeah, it doesn't mean the aliens that they're channeling are like that. But the human, the channeling, that alien is being worshipped. Not necessarily worship, maybe like not always. Sometimes it might be some of that, but sometimes it's just what the human has to go through. And the alien's like, that's not my crap. That's not my deal. I mean, if they got close to being worshipped and things like that, they might be worshipped, but not that they're focusing on it or trying to control it or things like that. Not that we would be able to see that here, but either way, like some aliens would get worshipped here, and I think some. I mean, there's, like I said, there's gonna be some of that, but a lot of it is mostly just guidance. Not to mention names of the alien entities, not the ones I connect to, but there's some that are like when you channel the same being over and over, it's always the same being. And they can get kind of on a pedestal. So that's what I'm getting at there. So, like I said, the being that's being channeled over and over again, depending on the being, it's like, I don't want to be worshipped. I don't want to be part of that crap. And, like I said, there's going to be some of that, but it doesn't mean they're pushing it. Rearranging things for the princess here. Speaking of worship. Jeez. Pain in the ass. Oh man, I have this all set up. I'm not going to turn this off at all. I'm sure this will mess it up. So anyway, that's right. I have some oracle cards that I made. I haven't made public at all. I haven't thought about it. I'll post it on YouTube, and I'll put a link on the site. So I have I think it's 54 cards, oracle cards. I don't think I'm gonna do this again, but for those that are something to leave behind. Something to, maybe it'll help others. I've done oracle cards in the past, so these might be, hopefully these are better than the other ones, so we'll see. But yeah, the alien energies, the reptilian frequencies that are here, a lot of them that are human, that are lost, yes, they have a lot of darkness they have to confront. Some have more. Well, some of them connected to the demonic realms for whatever. They gotta go through their stuff. But we are assisting. You know, you might run into someone that's really got a lot of darkness. But energetically, we're working to help them, but not that you need to focus on it. But we are kind of spirit guides to some people here. And that doesn't mean, yeah, sometimes someone might come to mind and you're not dealing with them. Like, I'm not taking, you can take your crap and stay somewhere else. But doesn't mean we're not still guiding them on an astral level. And yeah, they can take things to the extreme, but doesn't mean that you have to go with them on that one. But some of that's the reptilian side of it. Just, that's once again something they have to explore. So, like I talked about the parasitic, I'm going to talk about it anyway. This parasitic higher self can be pretty dark, was a version of it, but you know, it doesn't mean you have to connect to this person, but they can cool itself off after some time. Doesn't mean you have to reconnect to the person or anything. A lot of times, just distance is the key. It's better just to stay the whole way from them. I mean, if they find you, that's one thing. Hopefully, they're not messed up, but of course, many are going through their ego and so on. So, anyway. So, I'll connect to Reptilian alliances. Of course, there are some that are tapping into the alien groups and all that. Say it's not channeling. It's like, like it's coming from memory or something. It's like there might be some truth there, but a lot of it's just channeling. It's weird. It's like they say it's not channeling, but it's channeling. It's like, okay, whatever. It's like whatever you say. You can lie to yourself if it makes you feel better. I guess it's part of the marketing side. It's not channeling. What the fuck is it then? Just a psychopath or something. Anyway. Or a narcissist. So anyway. Yeah, there's definitely spiritual narcissism out there, for damn sure. Either way. Alright, we're going to Reptilian. Yeah, just get their point of view of what humans are going through. Just a neutral understanding of not for us to be a victim. You can be a victim if you want, but not going for the victim mode though. So, all right, blessings for you. Greetings together, reptilians. Alliances, brothers or sisters, your aunts, aunties, grandmas, and so on. Our alien races give you some. Yes, we haven't exactly treated the Greys very well. Of course, we're not exactly treated very well by other groups, such as Orion beings, putting us through the grind as you go. We go through our issues, you go through yours. So why are we occupying your world? Shouldn't we be at the beach, living? So we have a job too. You have your job, we have our job. And doesn't mean that, is this a prison world? Oh, it's being occupied. Doesn't mean it's a prison. Some feel like maybe that's some need to hear that. It's like I'm in my inner prison, my life prison, but hopefully it's not to be a victim of that, but there is some of that going on. Everyone's different. And we, as reptilian beings, we are learning a great deal about your world, but also learning how to find our way out of our situation. Of course, there's plenty of others here to watch your world. And, we are learning to, yes, not be so, distasteful towards human, not to be so arrogant towards them, not to be so ugly. Of course, our reptilian beings are always going to despise the human race no matter what. Due to what your climate of your world, and of course you can blame manipulation all day long. Humans are still having trouble, healing their fear. That's why this type of connection, channeling is a little bit of frightening. It's weird. It's not the alien beings, yes, they say it's the government, which is absolutely hilarious. Some are that ignorant. Their government's not that powerful. They have some tricks, but those are given to them, and they're heavily watched. And they're a little bit frightening because they're not exactly mentally sound with themselves. They're not exactly balanced. Why would that be? Of course, there are some envy from us to see how crazy can he be here. But this is technically, you know, a reptilian world, and it gives you an idea of what it's like. But in our world, obviously, you look more like us, and we could be worse. And also, we can be more civilized. We're not exactly going after the homeless. There are some homeless on our world, nothing like your planet. Some choose that lifestyle to figure themselves out. Your world, it feels like they got no other choice due to the economics of the situation. Economics has trouble healing itself due to the control factor, not through you individually, but through the system here. He wants to see humans as waste, as you can see. Obviously, not everyone is like that. There are certain elitists who don't want to give to others. Now, some of you are very gracious and give. You can't give your whole. You gotta survive yourself. You can't just. I imagine many of you would actually give your left hand, your right hand, whatever you call it, towards others. But you still have to protect yourself, and that's your own boundaries, and that's important. And yeah, it's good to be aware of that, not to just give your shirt off your back for no reason. Of course, some religions are more happy to take it and put it in a pile of shirts that have been thrown their way. Yeah, just give us your life. And there's a lot of that going on. Yeah, it is kind of disturbing. Not that you need to look into it too deeply, but it's basically knowing your power, bringing your sovereignty back. As for alien beings showing themselves, obviously to show ourselves through your frequency, it will appear to you if it absolutely helps you in your incarnation process. We're not here to intervene, technically. Well, we are to watch your society, of course, but we actually are here to assist that sometimes, but then we report back to our main base what's going on with you, basically. But once again, we have a job like you. We can't just, go to the beach. Of course, some of us are at the beach. And we do telepathically connect to you, the people, through your guides. Sometimes telling your guides is like, why don't you get this person to stop drinking? Why don't you get this person to, not being used so much or do something? There's some of that, not completely. But like at the beach and people are swimming around in shark-infested waters, we do put the frequency out there that, by the way, you want to get eaten today, or bitten, or whatever you want to call it. So, but we do connect to you. Now, that doesn't mean your guides listen to us, or if they do listen to us, it's like, yeah, but the humans not listening to me. They tell me to fuck off. Sometimes with our presence, we can get through to them. Because, we have our own little dirty, nasty selves, too, we can tap into, which your guides can't always access. When it comes to, sometimes you listen to us more than your own guide, so just put that. And sometimes we can become a guide to some level. It doesn't mean we're always the best guide. We can also guide you to the wrong direction, or just, hey, let's have fun and get drunk and lose ourselves. Of course, we're not, but, that's sort of how neutral our group is. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that, but seeing how the human has accepted that part, it's like, yeah, screw it. Not much we can do. No one's listening to us. The guides are like, what the fuck is this shit? So, yeah, obviously reptilian beings have a lot to learn. But it's teenager reptilian beings that are watching your planet. Not that you need to focus on it, but you see how this world is. Spring break, let's party. Everyone's here, take off your clothes, let's go. Yeah. So some of that's influence. You'd be surprised. Yeah, those are getting drunk and on drugs and all that. It's like, you know what? There might be someone else that just do it. and you feel embarrassed and feel like, man, what the fuck was I thinking? Yeah, you have reptilian on the brain. So, or something like that. So, so it gives you some perspective of our presence here. It doesn't mean you have to be freaking out about us or anything. Just clear your energy if you don't want any interference from us. Because there are beings that just, you attract. If you're not exactly the best frequency, you're going to attract all kinds of crazy beings. Not just in the physical, but obviously in the non-physical. And, and the guides have to help, navigate you through your decisions. Doesn't mean you have to find Jesus. It's a whole nother. Jeez, be careful with that. Yeah, you'll find Jesus, all right. Jesus will take you somewhere, and it's probably not Jesus doing it too, by the way. But thank you for calling this entity Jesus, or wherever you're tapping into. There's something like that going on. So, not many are asking for the authentic being. They're just looking for someone to. Yeah, people are attracted to power here, as you can say, but it doesn't exactly help them in the long run. So your path here, your state of the human, I kind of gave you some details of it. Yeah, just know your power. Yes, know your boundaries within the non-physical realms. It does help. It's okay to know about us and how screwed up we are, or, vice versa. But you don't have to, live in it and you have to live in that sloppy mess we call it of life. So, but we're all assisting each other in the long run. Does it mean your world's going to awaken to our presence? You have to see it to believe it. But if they saw a bunch of reptilians, that might slow people down even more. You're seeing it through the human energy, but not obviously that's excuses, but they'll see them in their visual if they absolutely need to. Most aren't quite there yet, as you can imagine. So, all right.